morning. It is 6:36 a.m. when I'm making this, so I am very tired, and if I make mistakes, I apologize. Alright, what is the quotient represented by the expression 8w squared minus 20w minus 12 for all values of w where the expression is defined? So first thing we should always do is check for a GCF, which I'm not always good about showing y'all, but GCF, parentheses, we got 8, negative 20, and we got a negative 12. So they told us right here, GCF is 4. So that means we need to divide the whole top row by 4. So I'm going to put here 4 parentheses. 8 divided by 4 is 2w squared minus 20 divided by 4 is 5w. 12 divided by 4 is minus 3. All over 2w plus 1. Okay, so now we have to factor. That is not a dot, so it is not 2 parts. That is perfect squared and subtracting. It is not PST because 2 is not a perfect square. Negative 3 is not a perfect square. So I don't even have to check the middle part. We're going to have to box it. A times C, 2 times negative 3, negative 6. In the middle we have negative 5. So we need factors of negative 6 that add up to negative 5. Well, it's going to be negative 2. Wait, nope. Negative, well, okay, I'll write down even though it's not going to work. Negative 2 and positive 3 gets us 1. If I do negative 6 and positive 1, that gets me negative 5. So over here we have 2w squared. We have negative 3. And now I know in my two boxes we're going to have a negative 6w and we're going to have a 1w. Well, to get 2w squared, we need a 2w and a w. I know my 2w has to go here because 2 times nothing is going to get me 1. 2w times negative 3 gets us negative 6w. W times positive 1 gets us positive 1w. So if I rewrote this, we would have 4 parentheses, 2w plus 1, w minus 3, all over 2w plus 1. Well, I'm going to cancel out what they have. Whoa. What they have in common. Well, that's this. I can't cross out the 4, so what we're left with is 4w minus 3. Well, they don't give us that as an option. They give us a w minus 3, but that's not the same as 4w minus 3. It's a w plus 3. So it's either going to be 4w plus 12 or 4w minus 12. Well, if I distribute or multiply here, 4 times w is 4w. 4 times negative 3 is negative 12. Our answer would have to be is what's left over. My work is all over the place on that one. Good luck. Oh, didn't we do one like this last time? Okay. So, here's what they gave us. Here's our answer choices. We're trying to figure out which one's equivalent. So all we're doing is distributing here. 6g times 4h. 6 times 4 is 24. gh. 6 times negative 12. I don't know off the top of my head, y'all. My shoulder is tired. 6 times negative 12 is negative 72. Negative 72 g squared, right there we know it's not correct. We already don't match. Distribute 12g, this times 2 is 24 gh. 12 times negative 12 is negative 144 g squared. We already know it doesn't match. 6g times 4h, 6 times 4 is 24 gh. 6 times negative 2 is negative 12, excuse me, g squared. 6 times 3, 6, 12, 18, plus 18g. That one's looking like our answer. Distribute on this one. 12 times 2 is 24, gh. 12 times negative g is negative 12, g squared. 12g times 3 is going to be plus 36g. So our answer has to be C. Let me fix it. It's going to bother me. Okay, scooting over. First thing we should always do, check for a GCF. So my calculator, I'm going to go plug in GCF, parentheses, 36, comma, negative 100. So they're telling me the GCF is 4. So that means I have to divide everything by 4. 36 divided by 4, first of all, I'm going to write out my 4, would be 9m squared minus 100 divided by 4 is 25. Well, okay, we took out our GCF, and we know we have to have a 4 in it, so it automatically gets rid of this and this. Okay. Is this dots or PST? This is dots. It's 2 parts. Subtracting, they're perfect squares. 9 would be 3 and 3. 25 would be 5 and 5. So instead of boxing this, we can use our shortcut for parentheses. Could you box it? Yes, but I'm going to use the shortcut on this one. So we have 3m and 3m. We have 5 and 5. If it is a difference of 2 squares, dots, you should have different signs. So our answer is going to be B. Done. Sliding down, once again, first thing we should always do is check for a GCF. So GCF, oh, it's all gone now. GCF, parentheses, 36, comma, negative 49. 1. So we do not have a GCF, so we can go about trying to factor this. So of course I could box it, but I'm always going to check for PST or dots first, because that's really helpful. That'll help us save some steps in having to box everything. 36 is a perfect square. We're subtracting. 49 is a perfect square. 36 is 6 times 6. 49 is 7 times 7. Let's say you don't know that. Let's say I'm like, I don't know if it's a perfect square or not. There's 2 ways you can check. You can either click on the keyboard and click on this check mark, which is your square root symbol, or you can type in SQRT. Either one, whichever is easier for you. So if I did the square root of 36, it's 6, and that gives me a nice number. If I do the square root of 49, gives me 7. It's a nice number. Those are perfect squares. But for example, if I did SQRT of, let's say, like 24, this is not a perfect square because it does not give me a nice number. So if you don't know if something's a perfect square or not, that's how you can check. Okay, so this is dots, so we can use our shortcut instead of having to box it. So we're going to have 6x and 6x. So we're going to have 7 and 7 because it's dots, a difference of 2 squares. We should have different signs. So our answer should be D. Okay. Flip. This one gave us which expression is a factor of x squared minus 5x minus 6. First thing I'm going to do is check for dots. It's not dots. It's not 2 parts. Is it PST? X squared is a perfect square because it's x times x, or if you want to put your invisible 1, 1 times 1. 6 is not a perfect square. If I was not sure, I could plug it into my calculator. If I plug in square root of 6, it gets me a decimal. So this is not a PST. We're going to have to box this one. So box t x. I'm going to put my invisible 1 here. In the top, it's a times c, so 1 times -6 is -6. My b is -5. We need factors of -6 that add up to 5. So if I tried, for example, -3 and +2, that gets me -1. If I tried 3 and -2, that gets me a +1. Let's say I tried +6 and -1. Well, that gets me +5. -6 and +1 does get me -5. So for my box, we're going to have x squared, we're going to have -6x, 1x, and -6. X times x is x squared. X times -6 gets us -6x. X times 1 gets us 1x. So our factors are x minus 6 and x plus 1. So our answer has to be A. D is wrong because it says x minus 1. We want x plus 1. Scooting down, first thing we should always do is check for a GCF. So I got GCF 18, -15, and 2. Wait, it says my GCF is 1, which means there is no GCF. So we can go about factoring this. It's not a dots. This is not PST. 18 and 2 are both not perfect squares. We're going to have to box this one. 18 times 2 is 36. We need factors of 36 that get us to -15. So we know 6 times 6, but that only gets us 12. And then first of all, it'd have to be -6 and -6 to make it positive. What if we did, -9 and -4? What does that get us? I'm just trying some numbers. What's -9 times -4 is 36. What's -9? Well, that's -4. That's -13. That doesn't get us there. So we need other factors of 36. 36 and 2. 2 and 18 can't get us 15. Let's try 3. 3 and 12 could get us 15s. So if I did -3 and -12, that gets us +36. It adds up to -15. So in our box, we're going to have 18x squared. We're going to have a -3x, a -12x, and we're going to have a +2. Okay? So now we got to figure out what goes here. Let's do 6, 12, 18. Let's try 6 and 3. 6x and 3x. 3 times -1 gets us 3x. 6 times -2 gets us -12x. -1 times -2 gets us +2. Everything in the box is great. So our factors are 6x minus 1, 3x minus 2. So our answer for this one has to be A. Okay. Sliding over, first thing we do, check for a GCF. So we got 21, 13, and -20. My GCF is 1, so there is none. Now I'm going to check for our special cases. Is this dots? No. Is this PST? No. 21 and 20 are both not perfect squares. So once again, this is a box question. Okay, so 21 times -20. Oh, this one's going to be ugly. 21 times -20 is going to be -420. Okay. So we need factors of -420 that add up to 13. That seems ridiculous. Okay. But I'm going to trust. Okay. This seems out of pocket. 21x squared, negative 20. Let me see. I want to just try and get some check on this one real quick, and then I'll come back over here. 21, I'm guessing would be 7x and 3x, if I had to guess. Okay, so now I need things that multiply get me negative 20. Well, that would be probably negative 5 and positive 4. So I just need to figure out where it goes. So I'm going to try it here and see if that works. 3 times negative 5 is negative 15x. 7 times 4 is 21x. What's 21 minus 15? Does that get us 13? 21 minus 15 gets us 6, so that's not it. Let me try flipping it. Let's try putting over here. My plus 4. Let's try over here putting the minus 5. 3 times 4 is 12x. 7 times negative 5 gets us negative 35. But now that's not going to get us positive 13. What is happening right now? Y'all, my brain is not working. What if we did positive 5 and negative 4? Because then that would get us positive 35 minus 12. $35 minus 12. Because it's 20. What is this? I'm trying to get 13. Here's why I'm doing 7 and 3, first of all, because all my answer choices are 7 and 3, so I know I need 7 and 3. I'm just trying to figure out what works. And positive 35 and negative 12 didn't work. And then negative 35 and positive 12 didn't work. Did I have it right the first time and I just don't know how to math? Y'all, I'm struggling with this one. If I put our 5 back over here, right, and put our 4 back over here, we would need this to be positive. 3 times 5 is 15x. 7 times 4 is, say it's a negative 4, is 28, negative 28. Negative 28, 15 is not going to be 13. Is it, oh my god, positive 4, negative 5? That's 20, 28 minus 15 is 13. We got there, y'all. Oh my god. That gets us 13. So it should be 7x minus 5 and 3x plus 4. 7x minus 5. Our answer is B. How would you box that, though? Apparently, negative 15 times 28 gets you negative 420 and adds up to 13. I wouldn't have come up with that, honestly. Guess and check was more helpful on that one, for me at least. But then again, you saw how much I was erasing and how confused I was. Yikes. Now we're only on question 8. Oh gosh. Okay, first thing, check for your GCF. Let me clear all this. So GCF. We got 36 and negative 64. So 4. 4 seems to be the magic number here. So we're dividing everything by 4. And our answer has to have 4 in it. So C and D are out. So we have 4. This would be 9x squared minus, what's 64 divided by 4? 64 divided by 4 is 16. Minus 16. Our answer is A. B is automatically out. Here's why. When you're talking about factors, you're talking about multiplying. We ain't going to be adding in here. That doesn't work. Even if you did do this, this would be 4x minus 16 plus x plus 4. That's not going to get you this. Our answer is A. GCF question. How much is left? I feel like I'm going so slow. Okay. Which one is a dots? This is not a dots. This is adding. Check this one. This is not a dots. It has an x term. This is not a dots. It has 3 parts. This is a dots because it's 2 parts. It's subtracting. 64 is a perfect square. That's 8 times 8. 81 is a perfect square. That's 9 times 9. Our answer is D. Right? Yeah. Okay. Riley multiplied 2 binomials with algebra tiles and got the product shown below. So we have 2x squared, we have a 2x here, a negative 2x here, and a negative 2. I'm going to change that into a box. We got 2x squared, we got positive 2x, negative 2x, we got minus 2. We're trying to figure out what our factors are. Well, we know 2x squared is 2x and x. X times positive 2 gets us positive 2x. 2x times negative 1 gets us negative 2x. 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. So our factors should be 2x plus 2 and x minus 1. I didn't make this review, so I don't know if it's supposed to go in a specific way or not. So it could either also be x minus 1 and 2x plus 2. I don't know if they made it so that either one is right. We'll find out together. Alright, first thing I would do is check for a GCF. I can tell by looking at it that it doesn't have one, but I'm going to plug it in anyway. GCF, we have 10, negative 17, and negative 20. It says it's 1, so there is no GCF. We're not dividing by it. This is not a PST because 10 and 20 are not perfect squares. We are going to have to box this. So we have 10x squared. We have negative 20. I'm going to use a shortcut on this one that will help you out. If I'm telling you to divide this can be divided. And the whole thing is I'm trying to cancel this out. One of my factors has to be 2x minus 5. So now we just need to figure out the other side. Well, if I know this is 2x, this has to be 5x, because 2x and 5x is 10x squared. Well, negative 5 times positive 4 will get us negative 20. 2 times 4 is 8x. 5 times 5 is negative 25x. Negative 25x plus 8 does get us negative 17. So you have 5x plus 4, 2x minus 5 over 2x minus 5. 5x plus 4 is our answer. Okay, I need to speed up. How many more questions I got? This video is going on a while. Okay. The area of a rectangle is equal to the expression 3x squared plus 14x plus 8, where the width and the length of the rectangle can be written as a binomial. Which expression represents the perimeter of the rectangle? So we got 3x squared plus 14x plus 8. We're going to have to box this one again. It's not a special factor here. 3x squared plus 8. We got 3x and x. Let me put my tx just because these are smaller numbers. 3 times 8, 16 was that 24. And then we're trying to get them add up to 14. Factors of 24 that add up to 14 was at 12 and 2. 12x, 2x. I'm going to have to adjust this now because I know 3x times nothing is going to get me 2. But 3x times positive 4 gets us 12x. X times positive 2 gets us 2x. So our factors are x plus 4 and 3x plus 2. But you'll notice neither is an answer choice. Go back to the question, they're asking you about perimeter. So my sides are 3x plus 2, 3x plus 2, x plus 4, x plus 4. If I want my perimeter, that means add all our sides together. So it's 3, 6, 7, 8x, 4, 8, 10, 12. All I do is I combine my x's, and then I combine my numbers. Our answer should be A. Alright, I think I'm on the last question now. This one was a long haul, y'all. The expression d squared minus d minus 6 can be written in factored form as d plus 2 parentheses d plus k, where k represents a number. What is the value of k? Oh, there's 2 more. Damn. Okay. I mean, dang. Okay, so we have d squared, right? We have minus 6. I already told you one of the factors has to be d plus 2. So I'm going to write down d plus 2. Well, d times d is d squared. 2 times negative 3 gets us negative 6. D times negative 3 is negative 3x. D times 2 is 2d. So if I want k, I want this number right here. So if I write my factors, our factors are d plus 2 and d minus 3. I want my other number in my factor. So the value of k is negative 3. Final question. The expression x squared plus bx minus 30 has a factor of x minus 3. What is the value of b? Enter your value into the box. Okay, so here's our box. We got x squared, negative 30. They already told us one of our factors has to be x minus 3. Well, x times x gets us x squared. X times negative 3 gets us negative 3x. Negative 3 times positive 10 gets us negative 30. X times 10 is 10x. I'm going to combine like terms, because on this one, now we're talking about standard form, and we're talking about b. So I want my product, what's on the inside of our box. So we have x squared plus 7x minus 30. It wants b. B is the number that's in front of our x. It should be 7. Good luck, y'all. That was a long haul. I don't know how much of it was because I was just tired of moving slow or what.